Hi, and welcome to my presentation on Prezi. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about differentiation in classrooms because I want to start the year out here at Acadia Academy letting parents know what differentiation looks like in classrooms. The first question is, what is differentiation? Essentially, differentiated instruction involves taking a closer look at learners, how there are several options for teaching information, multiple ways or modalities for learners to acquire knowledge, and a variety of methods for learners to present what they learned. This signpost lets us know that the first step is to know the learner. We can do that by assessing the learner. We can adjust assignments. We can use questioning strategies and various curriculum approaches. What differentiated instruction is not? It is not individualized instruction, not different levels or content for each student. It is not chaotic. With appropriate pre-teaching, teachers can monitor students' purposeful activities. It should not be homogeneous groupings. Instead, it should be flexible groupings, which they are a mixture of students with specific strengths and weaknesses. It should not involve making micro changes to assignments, such as having some students skip questions or making others write more. I'm going to show you a short video about using differentiated instruction to support all learners.
Diversity has become a defining feature of Alberta's classrooms. Students come to school with a wide range of interests and abilities, and diverse learning strengths and needs, including students with disabilities. Differentiated instruction is a philosophy that acknowledges that students learn at different rates and in many different ways. Differentiated instruction benefits students because it promotes an environment in which learning differences are not just tolerated, they are valued. Carol Ann Tomlinson, one of the early advocates of this approach, describes differentiation as shaking up what goes on in the classroom so that students have multiple opportunities to explore concepts, make sense of ideas, and demonstrate what they know and understand. Differentiated instruction can take many forms. For example, teachers can provide materials and learning tasks at different levels of challenge, or provide different levels of support in the classroom, depending on student needs. When done effectively, differentiated instruction is a seamless part of everyday instructional planning and classroom practice. It is woven throughout the school day and informs how physical space of the classroom is organized, what learning resources are used, how instruction is planned and delivered, how student learning is assessed. The very nature of differentiated instruction means that it will look very different in every learning environment, depending on the students, teachers, and learning contexts. Differentiated instruction begins with knowing who students are as learners. Effective differentiation also depends on knowing how and when to use multiple instruction strategies so that students have opportunities to learn in multiple ways. Ongoing classroom assessment is also key to differentiated instruction. Assessment informs instructional planning and provides snapshots of what students understand and can do. Another hallmark of differentiated instruction is the use of flexible groupings. With flexible groupings, students are grouped and regrouped over the course of the school day and throughout the school year. Typical groupings include whole class instruction, small group instruction, one-to-one instruction, peer teaching pairs, partner learning, independent learning activities, cooperative small group learning, This flexible way of organizing groups allows for targeted small group instruction with students who share similar learning needs, interests, or learning preferences. It is essential that group membership be flexible and ever-changing to allow students to work with different peers in a variety of situations. Students need opportunities to work in group settings that they are comfortable with, as well as those that challenge them to learn and grow. Differentiated instruction can enhance a teacher's ability to reach all learners. Research shows that differentiated instruction can particularly benefit students with disabilities, English language learners, students who are gifted, students considered at risk for not completing school. A differentiated approach builds on evidence-based practices in an intentional and systematic manner, and differentiated instruction allows teachers to provide the best learning experience for all students in their classroom. For more information on supporting every student, visit the Alberta Education website.
So parents, here's what you should know. The goal is that all students will make growth in all key skills and knowledge areas, moving on from their starting points. The teacher will closely assess and monitor skills, knowledge levels, interests, and effective ways of learning for all students. Lessons will reflect the teacher's current best ideas of what a child needs to grow in understanding and skill, which will change throughout the year. Parent input and understanding of their child is valued and encouraged. A major goal is to help students become more independent, motivated, and lifelong learners. What's all the hype? Research on the brain helps us understand how students learn. Learning preferences tell us how students receive and/or process information most effectively. Authentic assessment tells us what they already know and what they have learned based on instructional practices. Step 1. Get to know students. What is their ability and what are their interests? Step 2. Teaching strategies. Get ready. There are a lot we can use. Some teaching strategies. 1. Start with activating prior knowledge. Use a KWLH method. Find out what students know, want to learn, learned, and promote further investigation with how to find out more. 2. Integrate learning across curriculum with project-based learning, which we already do with our WINK projects. 3. Learning is relevant and meaningful to students. 4. Teaching students to take supported risks. A teacher acts as a coach. 5. Teaching students in small groups. Use centers or stations and technology to differentiate. 6. Students practice learning independently and collaboratively. 7. Students are presented with problem-solving scenarios and inquiry-based learning. 8. Students use portfolios to show individual progress. In differentiated instruction, teachers can use flexible groups based on similar needs and learning styles, provide challenges and active engagement based on students' interests and levels, create individual learning goals for students, create and provide multiple ways for students to learn and present what they've learned, create opportunities for students to participate in authentic and thematic centers, allowing for students to integrate learning across subject areas. Provide opportunities for students to engage in meaningful experiences that build upon what they already know or are interested in. Teach students to use self-assessment, giving them ownership and responsibility over their own work. Support students to try new things and take risks. Support collaboration, problem-solving, critical thinking, and communication among their peers. What parents can do. The world outside the classroom offers many opportunities. Here are a few places to get started. Adult mentors can teach children about things such as photography, chess, baseball, or jazz. A church, community center, or Lewiston Public Library can provide after-school art, book, STEM clubs, and much more. A senior citizen center or program can provide guidance, ideas, and friendship. www.ala.org has some great apps that you can use at home for kids. Edutopia is an awesome resource. Tinkerlab.com provides so many wonderful activities. And last but not least, communication with your child's teachers gives us lots of helpful information. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. At this point, I would love to ask you to do a quick survey, which will tell me more about your child, their interests, how they enjoy learning, what they are interested in learning about, and some of their styles or preferences for learning. Thank you very much. Here are some of the references that I used and research that I have gathered throughout my course through University of New England. And last but not least, the link to the survey. Thank you very much for watching.